It's Nemo Nation, broadcasting from the Fastport Studios at the historic Degas House in the city of New Orleans, just blocks away from where trucking radio first began.
Yes, indeed, and we are going to take that imaginary bridge and drive over to Hawaii because Kelvin Kohatsu is joining us right now. He's the managing director of the Hawaii Transportation Association, a group that goes back to 1938, long before it became a state. Kelvin, good morning.
Good morning. Aloha kakahiaka.
Aloha. Thank you very much. Where are you right now?
I'm in my workroom at my home in Hilo, Hawaii.
Hilo. Okay.
Very, very nice, by the way. And I can imagine that there are a lot of people who aren't even from your state who are going to be attending your annual conference, by the way.
Yes, they have. It was a few weeks ago, and we had a great turnout.
I want people to go to HTAHawaiiL.org. HTA.
No, the L is a misprint. It's just HTA.
It's a misprint? Okay, good. Okay,
yeah.
so that's a misprint. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And by the way, you're joining us this morning. So tell us how the conference went and tell us what was on everybody's mind.
Well, let's see. A few weeks ago, September 9, 10, and 11, September 9 was our golf tournament to get everybody together. And then 10th and 11th, we had the business sessions and the dinner and exhibition night and stuff. We had some interesting topics that we went over with emergency management, with the FBI and counterterrorism efforts. We had a discussion with the OEMs, PACCAR, Volvo, and Cummins, and we discussed the state's HDOT update on their energy security and waste reduction plan. And that's their plan to be 2045 emissions net zero on transportation. And a lot
the
of
year
other
20,
subjects for
2045.
2045.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So
I guess it kind of parallels some of the other Western states.
Yeah, so you're having these conversations, and I wanted to kind of give people a view from above for you guys, because in many ways, it's the same. You just made the comparison to the other Western states and all that. Talk about the unique challenges that your organization faces. We know the commonalities. What does the Hawaiian Trucking Association face in regards to unique sort of challenges to kind of having to speak as one voice, to speak as a voice that actually not just pertain to Hawaii, but to the rest of the country too? What insights do you guys have that are unique for your particular setup?
I think one of the unique things in Hawaii is we're subject to a lot of natural disasters. I got asked to speak about emergency preparedness. So, we got the hurricanes, tropical storms, earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, and we're just a small island state. Everything has to be imported. A lot of things are not, manufactured in Hawaii. So it comes over on the ship or via plane. And that's a very large challenge for the state of Hawaii and transportation.
You speaking of natural disasters, and of course I was going to ask you about Maui and how the association and members, is it taking a real, what's happening with trucking in Maui?
Well, that emergency brought about a lot of debris removal by FEMA. So when they declare an emergency and stuff, then they hire all these contractors, and some of them are not, registered with the PUC and HDOT and stuff. So, but I guess during an emergency procedure, they get everybody, and everybody comes out of the woodwork and starts driving. Was it a safety concern? You bet. Did some of the residents complain? You bet. But it is what it is,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds to me a lot like you guys focus on the big issues that are really kind of getting you guys there. Is that so much of what you guys do is focused on intermodal, is focused on disaster relief, and that in many ways you guys are the first line of the lifeline, that so much has to come across to get to you guys in order to kind of make the state functional as part of the 50. That, that trucking becomes the lifeline, that once the things move across the water or through the air, you guys are really the kind of, in many ways, you are what allows Hawaii to be a modern, forward-thinking state in many ways. Because without you guys, without your association, without the industry, it really limits the growth possibilities of the island, correct?
You are 100% correct. In a recent meeting we had with the Hawaii Emergency Management Team, they brought together the ocean shippers, the air shippers, and us, the ground transportation. So, we had a lot of discussions on that, and they allowed me to speak last. And I said, okay, it's very appropriate that I speak last because we're the final delivery people. Everything comes all over the world into Hawaii via ocean. And without the truckers, it stays at the dock. Same with the air shippers. Without the truckers, it stays at the airport. And they said, oh, we didn't really think about that. I said, well, please think about it now.
It's amazing what people don't think about, isn't
it? Yeah. We're so reliable, they take it for granted. Right?
Exactly.
And that's okay, yeah. But, right after our convention, it was National Truck Drivers Appreciation Week. So, we did a lot of stuff on social media. In fact, we had our past president on the morning news show in Hawaii on TV and talking about truck drivers appreciation, about women in motion, and a lot of other things that the HTA tries to promote.
It's interesting to me, Dave. This is really something, Dave and I have been talking about. So in some ways, you guys are basically responsible for anything that needs to get on the island. You're responsible for getting it on. And we go back to natural disaster relief, but also just in basically services. Anything that needs to get off the island, you're the one group of people who make sure that it get off, whether it's refuse or whether it's actual anything that is being exported from the island. But so much of, Hawaii is based around tourist industry and the maintenance of the island, the idea of maintaining its kind of position as a beautiful jewel in the crown that is the United States really is dependent upon you guys making sure that the stuff gets out there, because Hawaii I'm going to make this really kind of blunt, Hawaii without gift shops, without restaurants and hotels that are stocked to the nth degree, it just would collapse the economy to a large degree, correct? Basically, I sound like I'm beating a horse here, but that's the truth, right?
No, you're absolutely correct. And in addition to that, we have a large military presence. So there is a lot of funding coming through the federal government for the, Pearl Harbor, Hickam Air Force Base, Kaneohe, the Marine Corps Base, and everything. So, and the tourist industry is, the main economic driver in the state of Hawaii. And, we do have a lot of tour companies, tour bus companies and carriers, limousines. It plays an important part and really promoting Hawaii. And there's the detractors say, we have too many people coming in. No, if it's done responsibly, it'll be great for the economy.
Well, it's interesting to follow up on that. The association logo has three things. It has a palm tree, a tractor trailer, and a bus.
Yes, sir.
Because that's it, isn't it? That's what those buses are really important too. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, very important, and it's really symbolic. And I'm glad you brought that up. Getting the message out there that that's what we're made up of. And do we always agree 100% of the time? Of course not. But that's what makes it lively for me as a retired Hawaiian Electric Fleet Director for 21 years. And so I know that Lahaina stuff real well.
You opened up a door that I was going to ask you to walk through just now.
Okay.
And I'm thinking of the buses now, not so much the trucks. But are we electrifying buses to any great degree there now at this point in Hawaii?
Well, yeah. Let me give you some background. When I was at Hawaiian Electric, I did a lot of that for the past 20 years, electrifying our fleet at Hawaiian Electric as being the leader and example of electrification of transportation. Several of the companies have delved into buying a couple of those electric buses. Our city and county of Honolulu has picked up a bunch of electric buses, I think made by Gillig. So they're moving in that direction. And of course, range is not a problem here, right? I mean, where are you going to go? You drive 25 miles one way, you hit the ocean, and you drive 25 miles the other way, you hit the ocean.
Well, to that end, then, maybe tractor trailers too, then, right? Are you getting any influx of electric trucks?
No, and I've done a lot of work with the OEMs, and they've included me in a lot of the prototype modeling and testing, and they all work great, but they're super expensive.
Oh, yes.
And the members asked. I said, I'm thinking you guys would rather buy 3 diesel tractor trailers instead of 1 electric tractor and make 3 times the revenue.
There you
And
go.
they said, yeah. So the cost is a big hurdle here.
Well, the good news is, though, if you ever decide to have any solar panel fields, you don't have a lack of sunlight. I will say that, though, that you're actually able to kind of charge things up that way. But there are grid issues given the integrity of the islands. Correct? I mean, it takes a lot of power to kind of establish that grid presence for a giant fleet of those kind of trucks. So I can imagine, and given some of the environmental concerns, Hawaii isn't the best place to go digging up stuff and reconfiguring landscapes, is it?
No, it's not. Along with environmental impact statements, some Hawaii revised statute laws that prevent, certain things from being done. We've got a lot of restrictions, and it's really based on the cost. The cost is really prohibitive in Hawaii. As you probably know, Hawaii is probably the most expensive state to live in and work in. And rightfully so. I mean, everything's got to be imported. So here we are.
Here we are, by the way. We have to let you go, but I want to say something really quickly. We want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts, by the way, because if you guys don't know anything, I used to live in Seattle, and I used to think I had to get up early. It is currently 5:43 in the morning over in Hawaii right now, and we thank you so much for waking up at that early hour. I know you're probably an early riser to begin with, but thank you so much for making time with us this early in the morning in your neck of the woods. Really appreciate it.
And thank you for the invitation. It has been great talking with you guys. And if you're ever on the Big Island, where I live, I keep a sport fishing boat in Kona. Let's go fishing.
Oh my God, guys! I got to tell you right now, we got our next remote. We got our next remote.
And in fact, maybe we can do a show right on the boat.
That's what we're talking about.
Oh, it's exactly what we're talking about. Sign me up, by the way. It is so good to have Kelvin on. Thank you so much, sir. And continued success over there being the managing director of the Highway Transportation Association. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and aloha.
Aloha to you as well. HTHHawaii.org. We'll take